Okay, super quick update. It's been a wild week, wild day today. There was lots of news, yet there was no news. It was all fake, it turns out. I still think this is Kabuki play acting. We saw what was clearly play acting in the Strait yesterday with Iranian commandos boarding a tanker. The camera guy was somehow already on the boat. Totally fake. And they did nothing today. The Israeli news station released the story about Galabaf getting pushed out. Fake. Everything's fake. So you really got to be careful out there. At this point, I'm disinclined to trade until we get a headline saying Vance is heading to Islamabad or bombs are falling on Tehran again. Anything until then seems like it's likely to be bullshit. We saw the Iranians pull the walk-away maneuver, classic negotiating ploy. We're not taking this deal. We're not coming to Islamabad. And Trump responded with another classic negotiating ploy, the feigning indifference, which he himself has written about and used in the past, which is, I don't care if we have a deal. I got all the time in the world. We can have a deal. We can have no deal. Makes no difference to me. So this is a classic negotiating dance that's taking place here amidst all the noise and kerfuffle in the media. So I'm just hanging out in the equity market. Fortunately, while it's been volatile, we're basically flat on the week. I think S&P's down 30-40 basis points, nothing after what we've made the last few weeks. So I'm hanging in there in anticipation of these talks getting rekindled and some kind of deal getting signed, I don't know, this weekend, next week. The risk remains that the Iranian regime is just simply dysfunctional. But what are we talking about? We're talking about the Vahidi guy who runs the IRGC, the general, and Galabaf, and Pezeshkin's a technocrat. There may or may not be a supreme leader. Who the frick knows? It's only a few guys. There's two factions. Maybe some are more hardline than others. But they either hang together or they hang separately. And I just don't see that you're going to have a fracture. Because if they fracture, then all the technocrats will just head for the hills. They'll save their ass. They'll sell themselves to the CIA or Mossad or whatever. Hey, get me a place in London. I'll give you whatever you want. Get me the hell out of here. And that's no condition for this regime to be, facing off in an all-or-nothing battle against the U.S. when it's totally broke, it's defenseless, its offensive capabilities are questionable. It was broke going into this. It's cut off from, most access to foreign exchange. How is that sustainable? And if they don't make this deal here, then there is no other agenda for the U.S. other than regime change. The regime has to be changed. And, they can try to drive oil to 200, but what if that doesn't happen? It looks like maybe that's not going to happen. Maybe closing the Strait of Hormuz is oil at 120 and, mild recession in Europe and Asia, and the U.S. just keeps chugging away on this AI euphoria. And Trump says, well, screw it, I can live with that, and we freeze them out. So the Iranian regime is really risking overplaying its hand, and I still think they're basically playing good cop, bad cop with this split in the regime, which they themselves push back on today. And I still think that logically this goes nowhere but a deal. But we'll see what the next couple days bring. Again, careful with that fake news out there. Good luck.